the devices used for measuring the pressure at a point in a fluid by balancing the column of fluid by the same or another column of the fluid. So these manometers, these manometers are defined as these are the devices used for what? For measuring the pressure where at a point in a fluid by balancing the column. So this device has a column. Okay, so they are telling by balancing the column of fluid by the same or another column of the fluid. Okay, so when you go to the through the image, you will get to know so what is this column and all. Just you note down. So manometers are defined as the devices used for measuring pressure where at a point in a fluid by balancing what? Balancing the column of fluid by the same or another column of fluid. So when you question and learn, you will get the definition very easily and fluently with reasonable thing, so that you could remember properly. Okay, so these are the manometers. So in the manometers we have two types. Okay, simple manometers and differential manometers. Okay, we have two types in the manometers. So what are manometers? Devices used for measuring pressure at a point in a fluid by balancing the column of fluid by the same or another column of fluid. You must be perfect. So what are simple manometers and what are differential manometers? We'll see. So before that, we will see the mechanical gauges. So first one is what? Manometers. Second device was mechanical gauges. So what are these mechanical gauges? So mechanical gauges are also the devices used for measuring the pressure by balancing the fluid column by the spring or dead weight. The commonly used mechanical pressure gauges are, there are four types in this: diaphragm pressure gauge, Borden type of pressure gauge, dead weight of pressure gauge, and bellows pressure gauge. So just remember what are they. Okay, so there are four types of mechanical pressure gauges. So what are the mechanical gauges? So mechanical gauges are also defined as the devices used for measuring pressure. So manometers are also defined for are the devices used for measuring the pressure. Okay, by balance, these are also by balancing the fluid column, but here the fluid column is balanced by what? Spring or dead weight. Keep this in mind. If the gauge is balanced by the spring or dead weight, it is the mechanical gauges. But in case of manometers, it is balanced. It's the fluid by balancing the column of fluid by the same or another column of a fluid. So the column, the fluid is the main criteria for balancing there. But here we are using spring or dead weight. So diaphragm pressure gauge, Borden type, dead weight pressure gauge, bellows pressure gauge. There are the four types of mechanical gauges. Now we'll see one by one what are simple manometers, differential manometers, mechanical gauges. So what are the types and all, we will see one by one. So next, they are the simple manometers. So what is simple manometers? A simple manometers consist of a glass tube having one of its end connected to a point where it is to be measured and other end remains open to the atmosphere. So they are giving the description about what, how it is constructed. So the simple manometers consist of a glass tube having one of its end connected to a point where it is to be measured. Okay, so it is one. So it divides at two ends. One of its end is connected to a point where the pressure is to be measured and other end remains open to the atmosphere. Okay, when you see the image, you will get a clear picture. So common types of simple manometers are piezometer, U-tube manometer, and single column manometer. So these are the common types of simple manometers. Yavyadu piezometer, U-tube manometer, single column manometer. So we'll see one by one what is piezometer, what is U-tube manometer, and single column manometer. See, first we'll go to the piezometer. So it is the simplest form of manometer used for measuring the gauge pressure. So one end of the manometer is connected to the point. So see, so this is the system where this is the system where we need to find the pressure, this point A. So at the centroid, so this is the point A where the pressure is to be measured. Okay, where the pressure is to be measured. So this is the point A. So this is what this is the manometer. Okay, so one end of the manometer is connected to the point where pressure is to be measured, where it's to be measured at A. Okay, and other end is connected to the atmosphere. So here it is open to the atmosphere. Okay, so the rise of liquid gives the pressure at that point. So how much rise? So H. So when it is connected to the system where the pressure is to be calculated, the height of the liquid, see here, the height of the liquid, based upon this height we can calculate the pressure. How? As we all know the formula, what is that? We have height, then how we can find the pressure? Pressure is equal to rho into G into H. So same basic formula. So pressure at A is equal to what? Density into gravity into height. Okay, so though this is the piezometer construction and it is about the piezometer. So one end is connected to where the pressure is to be measured and another is connected open to the atmosphere. So height is very important here. So if height is known, we can easily calculate the pressure at A. So pressure at A, during this calculation, the density is what? The liquid density, the fluid density, whichever is present here. Gravity is constant 9.8. So H is the distance from here to here, at what it is raised. Okay, now this was about the piezometer. Next we will see what is the unit. Same unit of Newton per meter square. Okay, why I am telling units are very important, so don't forget to write it. Okay, here it's okay, but during problems you should have a habit of writing the units so that you will not lose the marks. Okay, now next piezometer is over. Next we will go to U-tube manometer. So what are these U-tube manometers? So U-tube manometers means we will see the construction of that U-tube manometer. So it consists of a glass tube bent in U shape. Because of the glass tube is bent in U shape, the name U-tube manometer. Okay, so you know manometer. How was piezometer? So some pipe was there, right? So when that pipe, that tube, glass tube is bent in U shape, it is called as U-tube manometer. See, for gauge pressure, for vacuum pressure, you'll get to know what is gauge pressure and when you should use this vacuum pressure. Okay, so this is the system where the pressure is to be known. So this is the cross section of a pipe. Okay, when it is correctly cross section, it is the pipe. So here if you wanted to know the pressure inside this pipe, what we have to do? We have to connect this U-shaped tube, correct? U-shape to this system. Okay, so one end of which is connected to a point at which, so here the point is what? B. So one end of which is connected to a point at which pressure is to be measured and other end remains open to the atmosphere. Fine. Next, the tube generally contains mercury or any other liquid whose specific gravity is greater than the specific gravity of liquid whose pressure is to be measured. So here one condition is there in the U-tube manometer. What is that? The tube generally, this tube, so this the tube which is dark pink. Okay, it contains, generally it contains mercury. Okay, if not mercury, it should have a liquid whose specific gravity is greater than the specific gravity of liquid whose pressure is to be measured. If there is water here, if in the system water is here, so whatever the specific gravity of water, ಆ ವಾಟರ್ ಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರಬೇಕು ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಗ್ರಾವಿಟಿ. ಈ ಟ್ಯೂಬಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್, ಆ ಫ್ಲೂಯಿಡ್ ಇಂದು ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಗ್ರಾವಿಟಿ ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಟರ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ವಾಟರ್ಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರಬೇಕು ಟ್ಯೂಬಲ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ, so for gauge pressure this is the system and for vacuum pressure this is the system. So this H1 is what? This is the distance from here to here. So they have taken A as datum. Okay, we'll just know this. Okay, in future slides you will know about the what is H1, H2. Okay, so this is the U-tube manometer. So because of the glass tube bent in U shape, it the name U-tube manometer. Next we will see for gauge pressure. So whenever U-tube manometer is given, whenever a question related to U-tube manometer is given, we will have two conditions. So one for gauge pressure and one for vacuum pressure. Gauge pressure ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? See, this is the system for gauge pressure. Vacuum pressure ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಇದು. So ಏನು ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ? So in datum line ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ, so it is the pipe after the datum line is full of what? Vacuum. So it is called vacuum pressure. We have to find the pressure due to the vacuum pressure in the pipe. Here you see the vacuum pressure is okay, but here fluid is there na, so we have the gauge pressure. It will be called as gauge pressure and it will be called as vacuum pressure. So there are two conditions. Whenever a U-tube manometer question is given, you will have two conditions. Either the question will be for gauge pressure or the question will be for vacuum pressure. So both the conditions have two different formulas. Just substitute that formulas regarding the question, you will get the answer. Very easy, just remember the formulas, that's it. Okay, see here, note it down so that you could remember it better. Now if they ask for gauge pressure, so what is the gauge pressure? See the diagram once. So gauge pressure, so see, so this is the system. Okay, 1 minute, I'll choose the color. Okay, so this is the gauge pressure. So this is the gauge pressure for gauge pressure, right? So this is the system where pressure is to be measured. So in that system, we will take the B as a point. Okay, so this is the U-tube manometer. Now I'll tell you, this B is a point at which pressure is to be measured, okay, whose value is P. So the pressure at B, we will take it as a small p. So in this system, what we do, we take a datum line as AA. Okay, we will consider a datum line AA. Okay, in this U-tube manometer, in the system, whenever U-tube manometer system comes, so at correct position, what we will take? We will take a datum line. Why the datum line? To improvise our problem, to solve the problem. Okay, you'll get to know when you know the formula. Okay, now so we selected the datum line, that is AA. Now we should define every item of here. So what is H1? H1 is the height of liquid above the datum line. Okay, so this is the reference for us, this is the datum line. So H1 is what? Height of the liquid, light liquid above the datum line. So this is the light liquid, maybe it has come upwards, just keep whatever the liquid, height of the liquid above the datum line which we considered, so above that H1. Next H2, height of the heavy liquid. So it is what? The specific gravity in the right column, we will take only the heavy column, heavy liquid, right? So specific gravity ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಸೊ ಅಂಥದ್ದೇ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ H2 ಪಕ್ಕ ಏನು? ಹೈಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಹೆವಿ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಅಬೌವ್ ದ ಡೇಟಮ್ ಲೈನ್. ಸೊ S1 ನಾವು ಒಂದೊಂದೇ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟೀಸ್, ಟೂ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಏನು ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಟೂ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಇದೆ, ಫ್ಲೂಯಿಡ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಟೂ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ we will get two types of properties we have to define. So S1 is the specific gravity for light liquid. Fine. So due to S1 is the specific gravity of light liquid, we will keep ρ1 as the density of liquid. So what is the formula? 1000 into S1. So we will get directly. Okay. Now S2 is the specific gravity for this liquid, heavy liquid. So density of the heavy liquid is ρ2, that is 1000 into S2. Fine. So this is we defined, we took a datum line AA and we defined the H1, the specific gravity and the density for the liquid, for two different types of liquid, right? Now what we do, as the pressure is same for the horizontal surface, so here we consider at the datum A. So here also same liquid, here also same liquid, right? So the pressure will be same. Fine. The pressure, as the pressure is same for the horizontal surface, hence pressure above the datum line, pressure above the datum line in the left column and right column will be same, will be equal. So we can equate it. The pressure in the left column is equal to the pressure in the right column. Like that we can do to solve our problem. Right. Now what we do? Pressure above AA line in the left column. See here. This is the left column, right? So pressure here is the left column. So this is the right column. Wait, I'll erase it all. Okay. Now, so pressure in the, so what we took? We took datum line. So at the surface, the pressure will be same. Okay. Hence the pressure above the horizontal datum line AA in the left column. So the pressure above here in the left column, this much. So the pressure above the datum line in the right column, that too above the datum line. So datum line ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ left column ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು pressure ಇರುತ್ತೆ is equal to right column ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು pressure ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅದು equal ಅಂತ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಇದೆ ಆ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ತಾನೇ ಈ ಇದೇನು ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಹೈಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಇದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ, ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಹೆವಿ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ನ ಪುಷ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅದು ಪುಷ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ರೈಸ್. ಸೊ this height will be depending upon the basic properties of this fluid. Okay, and this is depending upon the this basic property of this system, this fluid. So these are interdependent. So ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಒಂದು datum line ತಗೋತೀವಿ. datum line ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು left column, pressure in the left column ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಇರುತ್ತೆ is equal to or is it is same as the pressure in the right column above the datum line. So this is our assumption and we will do the problem. So pressure above the AA in the left column is equal to n pressure P plus rho 1 G H1. Hinge. So what is the pressure P? So we already has noted. So B L N pressure ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವೇನು ಅನ್ಕೋತೀವಿ P. So pressure above the datum line ಅಂದ್ರೆ P. So ಇದರ pressure P plus ಏನು ಈ liquid ಅಲ್ಲಿರೋ pressure ಏನು we don't know the liquid, so we will directly take as okay rho 1 G H1. So what is the formula of pressure? Rho G H. Okay, so idu P ಅಂತ ತಗೋತೀವಿ, P plus rho 1 G1 H1. correct. Next ಇಲ್ಲಿ pressure above the A in the right column ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. right column ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಯಾವುದು ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಮಗೆ ಈ ತರ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಯಾವುದು ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಇದನ್ನೇ ತಗೋತೀವಿ. ಏನು rho 2 G is constant, ಆಮೇಲೆ H2. So this is equal to rho 1 G1 H1 plus the pressure inside the system P. ಇದು ಅಷ್ಟು ಎರಡು ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಅಂತ ತಗೋತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, ನಾವು ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸಿ P plus rho 1 G H1 ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಇದು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ pressure above the A in the right column is rho 2 G H2 right column do above the datum line. These both are above the datum line. We don't consider anything under the datum line. So these there the properties will be in equilibrium. Don't disturb it all. We will not disturb it. Now we will equate this both. Hence equating what is second, P plus rho 1 G H1 is equal to rho 2 G H2. So what we want the pressure in the system. So P in late calling rho 2 G H2 minus, so send this to that side, rho 1 G H1. So whenever the YouTube manometer ಅಲ್ಲಿ gauge pressure ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಬಂದ್ರೆ you should remember this formula. So YouTube manometer, if they ask for the to find the gauge pressure in the system, so this is your formula. P is equal to, this is the pressure which is required, P is equal to rho 2 G H2 minus rho 1 G H1, whereas rho 2 H2 are the properties of the fluid in the right column. Okay, remember this, they are the right column, where rho G H1 are the properties of left column. andre enartha, so this is the properties for the liquid for which the specific gravity is lower. This is the properties of the fluid for which the specific gravity is higher. So ದೊಡ್ಡದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಸಣ್ಣ ಕಳಿತೀವಿ, we will get a pressure. So positive value ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Fine. So this is how we do to calculate the pressure for the U-tube manometer, that too for gauge pressure. So vacuum pressure ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ ಹೆಂಗೆ, we will see. So for vacuum pressure, see the diagram is like this. Same, let B be the pressure for that. Okay, so let B be the pressure in this system. So same for measuring the vacuum pressure, the level of heavy liquid in the manometer will be shown as figure. So illi above the datum line it will be, the tube will be vacuum. Okay, so we will also consider here, also we will consider the what, the datum line. So where it will end here, so from there we will calculate the datum line. Fine. So pressure above A in the left column. So pressure above the A in the left column. See here, this is the left column, right? Hoda. Next, I will clear it. So you know, pressure above the A in the left column is what? So first P is the pressure of the system. Okay. ಆಮೇಲೆ next ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ದು, ಸೊ ರೋ 1 GH1. ಓಕೆ, ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೆವಿ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಅದ್ರ ತೋತೀವಿ ರೋ 2 GH2. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಅಬೌವ್ ದ A ಇನ್ ದ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಕಾಲಮ್. ವಾಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ರೈಟ್ ಕಾಲಮ್? ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಯೂಮ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 0 ಮಾಡಕ್ ಕಾರಣದಿಂದ, ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಯೂಮ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ, 0. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ 0. ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಹೆಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ರೈಟ್ ಕಾಲಮ್ is 0. So we will consider both in the left column only, that too above the datum line. So equate ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ರೋ 2 GH2 plus ರೋ 1 G1H1 plus P. Wait, ರೋ 1 GH1 will be equal to plus P is equal to 0. So one side 0 ಆಗಿಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. So what we want pressure. So pressure is equal to minus y minus, so these are both are in positive value, right? So P is equal to minus ro 2 GH2 plus ro GH1. So we can also simplify like this, P is equal to minus ro 2 GH2 minus ro 1 G1H1. It's not needed. Okay, so according to the question, according to the situation in the problem, we'll going to solve the problem. So when I do an example problem, you will get to understand. So remember this, for the pressure you want to note it down when it is given for the situation of vacuum pressure. You know, P is equal to minus, open the bracket, ro GH2 plus ro 1 GH1. So remember this. So for vacuum pressure they will do this. Okay, so known first of for any initial days you will get to remember. So after practice you can assume that. So vacuum ಅಂದ್ರೇನು, ಅಲ್ಲಿ 0 ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ರೈಟ್ ಕಾಲಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 0. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇಕ್ವೇಟೆಡ್ ಟು ದ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಕಾಲಮ್. ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಕಾಲಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನಿದೆ, ಸೊ ಇದ್ರದ್ದೊಂದು ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಇದೆ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ದ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ದ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ is here, it will come out, no? So that is ರೋ 1 GH1. okay, then ಇಲ್ಲಿ H2 ಇದೆ, heavy liquid, so ರೋ 2 GH2. so when you equate it, you will get aram say P is equal to minus ರೋ 2 GH2 plus P1 GH1. so like that you can only derive in seconds and you can solve the problem. Next, it was for vacuum pressure. Okay, next we will see the single column manometer. So this is also example for manometer only. This is single column manometer. So what is this single column manometer, we will see now. So in this single column manometer we have two types. One is vertical single column manometer, one is inclined single column manometer. Okay, so this single column manometer is a modified form of U-tube manometer. See, this is the diagram. It is just like U-tube manometer only, but it is somewhat changes has been made here. Okay, modified form of U-tube manometer. Now, so it is a modified form of U-tube manometer, in which here in this system, in which a reservoir having a large cross sectional area, we have a reservoir having a large cross sectional area, and it is about 100 times. Okay, it is about 100 times as compared to the area of the tube it is connected to one of the limbs. Okay, so it is big one, it is reservoir. Okay, this YouTube manometer, this single column manometer is 100 times larger as compared to the area of the tube is connected to one of the limbs. As compared to this, it will be 100 times more, they are telling, of the manometer as shown. Now, due to the large cross-sectional area of the reservoir, for any variation in pressure, so due to large cross, yes, we can see, due to the large cross-sectional area of the reservoir, for any variation in pressure, the changes in the liquid level in the reservoir will be very small. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಪ್ರೆಷರು, ಅದು ಆ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ, so that pressure compared to this, so because it is 100 times greater than the pressure, okay, where it is to be measured. Okay, so the various, for any variation pressure, the changes in the liquid level in the reservoir will be very small, which may be neglected. Okay, which may be neglected, and hence the pressure is given by the height of the liquid in the other limb. The other limb may be vertical and or inclined. So here what they are telling is, whatever the changes happened here, it will be neglected in the reservoir. So whenever it is connected to A, so this small pressure is created in the reservoir, and that will make this to push downwards. So because of this pushing, this liquid pushing this dark color the liquid, it will move up. Okay, it will, the H2 will be going up. So here they are telling it is to be neglected, hence the pressure. So whatever this single column manometer, when it is to be connected, where the pressure is to be measured, okay, it is to be neglected, and the pressure given is by the height of the liquid in the other limb. So whatever the height of the liquid we get in the other limb, that should be taken as the pressure which we got, means we have to take as H2, then we have to measure by the formula which we know. Okay, so for that system we have some of the mathematical procedure. Okay, simply it won't come, we have some derivation like, so what is that, we'll see. Okay, so in this single column manometer we have two types, that is vertical single column manometer and one is inclined single column manometer. So vertical single column manometer is because of this tube is vertical, right? Single idu enadu inclined single column meter means this should be in inclined. So that is the difference, main difference, that's it. So there are two types, that is vertical single column manometer and inclined single column manometer. So first we will see, if vertical single column manometer is given, then what is the procedure we do, or what is the how we derive the formula from it, we will see. Okay, when you see that, you will get to understand clearly. So this vertical single column meter, so the same figure. So what we will do here, as the same procedure as we did in the last slide, that we would take that A as the datum, right? Here we will take XX with the datum line in the reservoir. So in the reservoir we will take XX as what, the datum line. So when the manometer is connected to the pipe, due to the high pressure at A, okay, due to the high pressure, so they are considering this system would be due to high pressure. The heavy liquid in the reservoir will be pushed down. Okay, due to this, whether it is small or big pressure, some disturbances will be there, and with that disturbances, what it will do, it will push the another liquid, another heavy liquid. So this is heavy liquid, right? So this one is heavy liquid, so this is the liquid. So the basic principles are same. So this liquid should be a liquid whose specific gravity is less than the liquid which is considering here in the right tube. Okay, so this liquid, due to the whenever it is connected, okay, due to high pressure at A, the heavy liquid in the reservoir will be pushed downward and will rise, and this will rise in the Due to pushing, the H2 will be raised. Okay, and will rise in the right limb. The liquid will be raised in the right limb. So then, what are the condition? We will define everything. Okay, so here, whatever the picture, this image is important, and what are the terms? These are important. So what are they? We should note down very carefully. Okay, so let delta H be the fall of heavy liquid in the reservoir. So this is the delta H. So this is the delta H. So when first it was, the condition is here. Now whenever it is connected to A, the reservoir came down. Okay, it is pushed this much. So this much it is pushed now. So this is what delta H, fall of heavy liquid in the reservoir. H2 is what? H2 is the rise of heavy liquid in the right limb. H2 is what? Rise of heavy liquid in the right limb. Next, H1. H1 is what? Height of center of pipe. So this pipe where we need to find the pressure from here to the datum X. Height of center of pipe above XX. So where we take datum. So from that datum only we will consider the distance of delta H. Okay, from that datum only we will consider the height of A for that too from the center, that is H1. So H1 is what? Height of center of pipe above XX. Next, PA. So PA is what? Pressure in the liquid in the pipe. Okay, this is the PA, pressure at A, which is to be measured. So this is, we have to calculate what is the pressure of that liquid. Okay, next, A. So they have defined A as the cross sectional area of the reservoir. So cross sectional area of the reservoir as A. Small a is the cross sectional area of the right limb. So A is the cross sectional area of the reservoir. So for the right limb, small a is taking cross sectional area of the right limb. So two different types of liquid. So there will be two different properties. So S1, specific gravity of liquid in pipe, specific gravity of heavy liquid in the reservoir and right limb. Okay, see, specific gravity of liquid in pipe, specific gravity of heavy liquid means this is heavy. But here in the statement, what they have given? Fall of heavy liquid in the reservoir. This is the heavy liquid. So the heavy liquid was initially the heavy liquid. What is the Y is there? No, what the color? It was at X. Okay, so due to the high pressure here, that settled down, means this liquid pushed up. Okay, so because of that pushing, the H2 will rise. This is the mechanism. So this fall of heavy liquid in the reservoir is nothing but the delta H. Okay, specific gravity of liquid S1 is what? S1 is always, so one number is always considered with the left side terms, and number 2 is always considered with the right side terms. So rho 1 is the density of liquid in pipe, rho 2 is the density of liquid in the reservoir. So here nothing is there, just see the image. So vertical single column manometer, so that image should come to your mind, and just define all the points which are on the image. Next, what is the mechanism? It is falling, right? So fall of heavy liquid in the reservoir will cause a rise of heavy liquid level in the right limb. Due to this fall, there will be a rise in this level. So this is the mechanism, and this is the fundamental for our next derivation. Okay, so now this fall of heavy liquid in the reservoir will cause a rise of heavy liquid in the right limb. Yes, because of the fall of the heavy liquid, there will be rise in the right limb. Correct. So it is to be equated. Okay, so the because of here that fall, ಎಷ್ಟು quantity fall ಆಗಿದೆನೋ ಅಷ್ಟು quantity ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ rise ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay, so they are equated. So the pressure is same according to the our basics, right? Next, A into delta H. So this is area of the reservoir. Delta H is the fall, how much fall it was. That this A is area of the right limb, H2 rise, whatever rise it has happened, that one. See here, another time I will show you the figure. So they are considering only the whatever the fall is there, this much only, not full reservoir. Okay, this much quantity only. So this area is what? A, cross sectional area of the reservoir. Area into what? Delta H. So what is this? Depth delta H into, so this rise in the right limb is small a into H2. So we are equating them both. So when we equate, we will get the value of delta H as A H2 by A. So till now nothing is done, just we consider the equilibrium at that limb with the help of the datum line. So we will take it as 1. Next, now consider the datum line YY as shown in figure. Then the pressure in the right limb above YY. See here, what is YY? You have to go to the backward slide. See, after this, after finding the delta H, that is delta H is equal to A into H2 by A. This delta H sigma. So after that, we have to consider the datum line YY. So that YY is where the reservoir or this liquid ends and where it has become fallen. The fall of heavy liquid is there, no? ಅದು ಫಾಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲಾಗಿದೆ ಆ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಇಂದ ಆ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ಗೆ ಏನಂತ ತಗೋಬೇಕು ನಾವು, ಅಲ್ಲಿ YY ಅನ್ನೋ ಡೇಟಮ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕು. ದೆನ್ ದ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಇನ್ ದ ರೈಟ್ ಲಿಂಬ್ ಅಬೌವ್ YY. Then the pressure in the right limb. So this pressure, okay, in the right limb, what is that? In pressure iruttali, that nothing but rho 2 into G into H2. H2 plus this one, this Y alva, delta H add ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, so 1 minute. So now when we see the comment here, see, now consider datum line above YY as shown in figure. Then the pressure in the right limb above YY is equal to what? It is the rho 2 GH into delta H plus H2. So in the right limb, see, this right limb will be increased. Okay, will be increased. How much it will be increased? This delta H, this delta, the increase in the H2 will be what? Delta H. So delta H plus H2 we will consider, but the delta H will take here only. Okay, so ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರು ಅದೇ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರು ಅದೇ, ಸೇಮ್ ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ H ಅನ್ನು ಅಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಮಾಣನೇ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರೈಸ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, so the pressure in Y2 in the right limb will be rho 2 G. This H will what? It will change. That H2 will be there plus delta H. This is the rise, whatever it is raised. So A into, see, delta H is there, no? Delta H plus H2. Now what will be the pressure in the left limb in the above YY? It is rho 1 G delta H plus H1 plus PA. So whatever the pressure is there in the system, no? So above in the left limb, what happens above YY? So delta H, here also it is disturbed, delta H. Here also it will come delta H. ಇಲ್ಲಿ delta H just ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗಿದೆ ಹೋಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, so ಇಲ್ಲಿ delta H just ಮೇಲೆ ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ. So we have to consider the delta H property also. Okay, consider in mind. So in the left limb ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? So pressure at A plus rho 1 G H1 reservoir du plus, see, the pressure in the left limb will be rho 1 G into the height will be what? H1 plus delta H, because in this delta H there is no H2 heavy liquid alla, H1 didu, H1 the delta H, but the amount is same. Both the delta H, whatever the quantity, it is same, the effect is same. But here delta H makes H2 to rise. Here delta H1 will make this delta H, it will fall, no? In the reservoir it will fall. So I think I hope you understand. Plus what? The pressure in the A, in the limb. So now this will make, so this I will equate it, equating these pressures, I clear it. So So equating this pressure, what are the pressures? The pressure in the left limb, that is rho g delta H plus H1 plus PA. Then the pressure in the XX, so rho 2 g delta H plus H2. So pressure in this right limb, this is due to right limb and this is due to left limb. So whenever we equate them both, so here in this main concept is equating. So take a datum line, equate them both. The right limb is equal to left limb. So we'll get rho 2, this is rho 2 g delta H plus H2 is equal to rho 1 g delta H plus H1 plus PA. So this PA, we want this PA, so remain this PA here only and transfer this all to that side. So rho 2 g delta H plus H2 minus rho 1 g delta H plus H1. So delta H is what it will become common after simplifying, simple mathematics. So delta H is equal to rho 2 g minus rho 1 g plus H2 rho 2 g minus H1 rho 1 g. Okay, so this is the formula for the vertical single column manometer, vertical single column manometer. Okay, now what is the relationship of area? We will take that. But from the equation 1, what is that? Delta H is equal to A into H2 by A. So this was the formula, right, for delta H. Okay, so PA, so in the place of delta H, whatever then, so ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು delta H ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಈ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ, so delta H ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹಾಕ್ತೀವಿ, will substitute this one. Okay, so this delta H ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ we will put the value of this A into H2 into A. Okay, when we substitute the value of delta H as A H2 by HA, what we will get? We will get this equation. Okay, so we'll have a question on this A ratio now. So as the area A is very large, correct, as the area A is very large compared to A, hence the ratio small area, that is right limb area divided by the reservoir area, becomes very small and can be neglected. Because of the area, it is to be neglected, means it will come in the very minute ratios, the value will be 0.00 something. That's why the ratio of A by A will be very small, so that it could be neglected. Then whenever you are given a problem on vertical single column manometer, you have to use the formula, that is PA. PA means where the pressure is to be calculated, is equal to H2 rho 2 G minus H1 rho 1 G. So just remember this. So whenever you come across a question on vertical single column manometer, so from this equation it is clear that H1 is known, and hence by knowing this H1, H2 can be known. Okay, so H2 or rise of heavy liquid in the right limb, the pressure at A can be calculated. So H1 is known due to H1, so H2 will rise and it will be calculated. So whenever you solve the problem, you will get to know. So what are the questions, how the frame questions, and you have to remember this formula to answer such types of question. Okay, see, from this equation it is clear that H1 is known, and hence by knowing H2, so for H2 we have to calculate, we have to do some of the mathematics, or rise of heavy liquid in the right limb, then the pressure at A can be calculated by using this simple formula, that is H2 rho 2 G minus H1 rho 1 is equal to the pressure at A. Now we will see what is inclined single column manometer. Okay, so inclined single column manometer, so I'll tell you to see this image. So just like the vertical single column manometer only, but see, it is inclined. Okay, whenever it is inclined, what we will take? We will take theta. We will resolve the force and we will take theta. If it is a force, now it is only inclined. No, tube is also inclined. So with the horizontal, we will take an angle theta, and we will substitute in the equation. So I'll tell you. So in inclined single column manometer, the manometer is very sensitive. So this type of manometer is very sensitive. Due to the inclination, the distance moved by the heavy liquid in the right limb will be more. Okay, due to the inclination, the distance moved by the heavy liquid, okay, will be more. So now we will define every term so that we will come to an final equation. So let L be the, so this L, let L be the length of heavy liquid moved in the right limb. So this is the liquid, so L be the length, that too from XX. Same XX only, it was same in the vertical single column manometer. And what is YY? It is also same as the vertical single column manometer. So due to this pressure A, it will push, or the Y will get back down. So delta H is what? Delta H is nothing but the fall of liquid. Okay, it is the fall of heavy liquid in the reservoir. Delta H, fall of heavy liquid in the reservoir. H1 is same. What is that? Height of center of pipe above XX. H2 is what? The vertical rise of heavy liquid in the right limb above XX. So here we have to see above XX. H2 is measured from the XX. So that by the knowledge of mathematics, trigonometry, this is defined. This L is defined. That is Lx equal to sin theta. They have already given here. Okay, this distance, when it is, then this distance will be, H2 will be what? Due to the, whenever a triangle is like this, okay, this theta is known, this distance we know. So this distance is what? This distance into sine of angle. So that is the same. So L into, see here, it will also form a triangle. So this theta and this theta are same. So what is the distance of H2? H2 is nothing but L into sine theta. Okay, so that is only one we have to add. So if we add that L is equal to sine theta from the old equation only, from the equation for vertical single column equation only, from this equation only, in the place of H2, whatever the we got no here in the inclined, if we substitute that, we will get the value for inclined single column manometer. So the pressure at A is given by this pressure. So already we defined what are the circles we have to do. So PA is equal to what? H2 rho 2 G minus H1 rho 1 G. So this is we saw in the vertical single column manometer. So what is the change here? The H2 value is what? L into sine theta. Okay, so directly we will put PA is equal to H2 jagdali L into sine theta into rho 2 G minus H1 rho 1 G1. So PA is equal to L sine theta into rho 2 G minus H1 rho 1 G. Okay, in the place of H2, just we have to substitute L sine theta. Okay, now next we will go. Next is differential manometers. So till now whatever discussed here, so they were simple manometers. Now differential manometers. So in the simple manometers, whatever we discussed, one end of the limb was open to the atmosphere. Here in the differential manometers, it will not be open to atmosphere. It will be connected to another system. Okay, that is the major difference in the differential manometers. So the differential manometers are the devices used for measuring the difference of pressures between 2 points in a pipe or in two different pipes. Either in 2 points in a pipe, ಒಂದೇ ಪೈಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಹತ್ರ ನಾವು ಏನಾದರೂ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಮೋನೋಮೀಟರ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಆರ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಎಟ್ 2 ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಪೈಪ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ, ಸೊ ಎರಡು ಪೈಪ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಎರಡು ಪೈಪ್ ಅಕ್ಕಪಕ್ಕ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಅದ್ರದ್ದು ನಾವು ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಬೇಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಮೋನೋಮೀಟರ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಒಂದೇ ಪೈಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಕಡೆ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೂ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ manometers ನಾವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಆ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ manometers consist of a U-tube, okay, containing heavy liquid whose ends are connected to the points whose difference of pressure is to be measured. So ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ನ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಅಲ್ಲಿ the two ends of the differential manometers are connected. So it is also in the shape of U. So the most common types of differential manometers are U-tube differential manometer. Next one is inverted U-tube differential manometers. Next is U-tube differential manometers. So see the image. So this is the U-tube differential manometers. So two pipe set. Whenever two pipes are at different level, so just connect here. So your U-tube differential manometers is, so here at A it is connected, at B it is connected. So when they are at the same level, it is connected at the same level. Okay. Now this U-tube manometers, in this U-tube differential manometers, so the point pressure at A will be PA, here it will be PB. Okay, let the pressure at A be PA, same like we did in earlier slides. Same, the pressure at A will be PA and pressure at B will be PB. And in the liquids, in the liquid in the system A, okay, in the pressure system A, it will be different, and here the pressure will be different. So this is the heavy liquid only. Okay, this liquid may be same or it may be different, so that is another case. Okay, now these points are connected to the U-tube differential manometers. These points where the pressure is to be measured is connected to the U-tube differential manometers. Okay, let the pressure at A and B be P and BB. Now what we do, we will define each and every term. What is H, Y, H, X. Okay, so datum line is XX, right? We will define each and every term so that we can conclude, and so can we can come to a formula. Okay, so whenever U-tube differential manometer question is given, so this formula we are using and we are calculating and we are finding the pressures where it is required. Now, so H is what? The difference of mercury level in the U-tube. Okay, H in this case or in that case, H is what? The difference in the mercury level in the U-tube. Next, Y. Y is what? The distance of the center of B from mercury level in the right limb. Okay, here. X is what? The distance of center of A. See here, the distance of center of A from the mercury level. So whatever the distance of mercury level, okay, here mercury level is very important in the U-tube differential manometers. Okay, so from that mercury level, whatever the distance in the left limb from where it is calculated, it is different. It is calculated as X. It is named as X. From where it is to be measured in the right limb, it is calculated as Y. So Y and X are what? The distance from the pressure where it is to be measured to the mercury level in the right limb. And density of liquid in A, or rho 1, either rho 1, rho 2 is the density of liquid in B, rho G is the density of heavy liquid or mercury. Okay, so rho 1, rho A, rho B and rho G. So density of heavy liquid in mercury. Okay. Next, what we can do? So here already they have done, that is they are taking the datum line at XX. Okay, same as we did in the earlier slides, that is pressure in the left limb is equal to pressure in the right limb. We are doing that only, but we will consider some equilibrium. Okay, so for that equilibrium, for that surface, what we take the two pipes at different levels. We take the datum line, that is XX. So here in the next, what we do is, so pressure above XX in the left limb. So in this case, so pressure above the XX limb, pressure above the XX in the left limb we will take. So what will be the pressure here? The pressure at A plus rho 1 G, this distance at, so what is this distance? 1 minute, I'll clear it. So what is the distance here? From here to here, because we are defining with the mercury levels, the distance are defined with the mercury levels. So this distance is what? X plus H plus PA. So PA plus rho, it's not rho, it is rho 1. Okay, rho 1 G, height will be what? H means X plus H for the left limb. Similarly for right limb, what will happen? So it is PB. Okay, PB plus rho 2 g h2. Okay, this h2 is not there here. In the case of h2, what is there? Y and h are there, right? But here y and h, we have two different types of liquids here. So what we do, two different types of liquids ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದರದೇ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಇದರದೇ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ತಗೋತೀವಿ. ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, I tell you, wait. So PB ಅಂತ ಇರುತ್ತಾ, so the pressure in the right limb will be PB na. So ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇದೇ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ, ಸೊ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ರೋ 2 G Y plus rho G, I am talking with the respect of formula rho G H, the pressure formula. Okay, so rho for the mercury, rho G and H, it will be there. So I'll show you. Okay, see, taking datum line at x, I took a datum line here x. So whatever the pressure in the x in the left limb will be what? First to PA, pressure in the liquid in the system, plus this liquid rho 1 G H1 ಆಗಬೇಕಿತ್ತು. ಬಟ್ H1 ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ ನಮಗೆ x plus h ಇದೆ. So h plus x is nothing but this your H1. When we compare to our other earlier slides. Okay, now the where pressure PA is the pressure at A. Pressure above x is in the right limb. So right limb ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, so rho G ಅಂದ್ರೇನು, it is the density of what? Mercury, heavy liquid. GH, so it is at a depth of h, right? Next ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, rho G Y, rho, but that rho is what? Rho 2. Okay, rho 2 G Y plus PB. Easy, right? So once you remember the figure, it will be too easy. Next, what you calculate the pressure at both the limbs above the datum line. Now equate it. So it is equated to this one. Now while equating, after equating, see a rho G H plus x plus PA, rho G H plus rho 2 G Y plus PB. So what we want? We want differential pressure. So what is this? Differential manometers, right? So PA minus PB, what? You take all the same pressure where it to be find to one side and the properties one side. You will get this equation. So after simplifying, you will get this equation. So once it's all simplified, then the difference of pressures. So it is differential manometer, right? Difference in pressure at A and B will be H into G. G is constant into rho G. Rho G Y first because it is a heavy liquid. Rho G minus rho 1 plus rho 2 G Y minus rho 1 G X. Okay. After practice, you will be remembered very easily. Okay. So difference of pressure at A and B is equal to what? H into G rho G minus rho 1 plus rho 2 Gy minus rho 1 Gx. So this is the equation whenever they have asked for the differential pressures when the two pipes are at different level. Okay, suppose if the pipes are at the same level ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ನೋಡೋಣ, ಸೇಮ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Now the points A and B are at the same level and contains the same liquid density. So when the pipes are at same level, we will consider the pressure to be calculated in the same pipe at two different points, right? So we will take a same liquid density, that is rho 1. So rho 1 is common now, it is the same. First see the figure. So same liquid andre ade pipe alli ನಾವು ಎರಡು ಕಡೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. So here density at A and B are both same. Okay, so rho 1 is same for both the limb. Right limb allu rho 1 the density rho 1, left limb allu rho 1 rho 2 ಅಂತ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಲ್ಲ because they are at the same level because of the same pipe will be there. So the 2 points A and B are at the same level, contains the same liquid of density rho 1. So I have put first only row 1. Then what happens? Pressure above the x-axis in the right limb. Pressure above x-axis in the right limb will be, I'll show here only first in the last slide. I'll clear them. See here, pressure in the left limb and right limb we have to consider. After considering what we are doing, we are equating that. So we will take pressure in the right limb because it is complicated, no? So pressure in the right limb we will take above the x-axis, right? So I'm doing from the mouse now. It is disturbing. Okay. Now in this, first we shall consider the pressure in the right limb. So tell me. So first pressure will be what? PB. So PB is ಪಕ್ಕ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಪಿ ಬಿ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಏನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಈ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಡೆಪ್ತ್ ಆಫ್ ದಟ್ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್? ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ರೋ ಜಿ, ನೋ ರೋ ಜಿ ನಾಟ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರೋ 1 ಜಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್, ಪ್ಲಸ್ this mercury heavy liquid, what is that? Density is rho g h into g plus pb, correct? Next here ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇಮ್ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ರೋ 1, ಸೊ ರೋ 1 ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ರೋ 1, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ರೋ 1 ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್. ಸೊ ರೋ 1 g into h plus pa. ಸೊ pa ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಆ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಇಂದು ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ರೋ g h1. ಸೊ ರೋ g h1. ಸೊ h1 ಏನಿಲ್ಲಿ h plus x. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಶಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸಿ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಇನ್ ದ ರೈಟ್ ಲಿಂಬ್ ಇಸ್ ರೋ g, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಹೆವಿ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ರೋ g g ಇಂಟು h, ಎಷ್ಟು ಹೆವಿ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಇದೆ ಅಷ್ಟು, ಪ್ಲಸ್ ರೋ 1 g x, ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಷ್ಟು, ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಪಿ ಬಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಲಿಂಬ್ ಇಸ್ ರೋ 1 g h plus x plus pa. Now equate both, you will get PA minus PB, difference in the pressure, is equal to what? So after simplifying this, you will get this one, G into H rho G minus rho 1. Okay, you have to remember this. The difference in pressure A and B is equal to G into, because G is common, right? So we are simplifying so that G is common in here. So G into H rho g. So what is this? Rho g means density of the heavy liquid minus density of the liquid in the both the pipes. Because of the same liquid, they are same. Rho 1. Easy, right? PA minus PB is equal to G rho g h ಅಂತ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ. So rho g h ಅಂತಿದ್ದಾಗ ರೋ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಹಾಕಬೇಕು, ರೋ g minus rho 1 into gh is common. So pressure is always equal to what? Rho gh. So this you remember, universal formula. So if the height is changed, h will be different. If liquid is changed, density will be different. But it will come in the this formula. See, rho g h. In that equation, our terms alle we will do circus. Okay. So this was about the U-tube differential manometers. Next is inverted U-tube differential manometers. So inverted, as the name suggests, it is ulta, inverted, right? So see here, the inverted U-tube manometers is connected like this. So if the pipe is there, it is connected inverted only. Okay, somewhat ulta. So whatever the cases we saw in the earlier, so it is different, somewhat different. So it also consists of an inverted U-tube containing the light liquid. Here the major difference is it has to go against the gravity na liquid. So this liquid is what? Light liquid. So it is not mercury, it is light liquid. Anything will be, it is can't be right with the mouse. Okay, so it is, see here, the liquid which we are using in the inverted U-tube differential manometer is what? It is lighter than A or lighter than B. When compared to A and B, A is greater, B is greater, that's not the matter. But when compared to A and B, it is lighter. The liquid is lighter, so that it has to move against the gravity, right? So now inverted U-tube differential manometers we have seen. The two ends of the tubes are connected to the points whose difference of pressure is to be measured. So it is mainly used for the low pressure. Okay, wherever we have to calculate the pressure and the pressure we think it is very low, in such cases only we are using this inverted U-tube differential manometers. So we'll define all the terms. and I'll directly give the equation. So same, it's almost the same as we did earlier, that we are taking the datum and left limb is equal to right limb equating. So that is the main thing. So height of the liquid in the left limb below the datum xx. H1 is the height. Okay. H2 is the height of the liquid in the right limb. I'll go fast. So H is the difference of the light liquid. So H is the difference of the light liquid from the datum. So rho 2 is the density of the liquid at B. Rho s is the density of the light liquid, as I already said. So Pa is the pressure at A, Pv is the pressure at B. So taking xx as the datum line, okay, then the pressure in the left limb below xx, or in other cases we are telling above xx, here below xx. So what will be the pressure at A? So Pa plus rho 1 G H1, right? If it is in the earlier case here, and then in the left limb, in the right limb, what happened? Pb plus rho 2 G H2. Amele rho S G H, correct? But due to the inverted, right? Then inverted is the karanadinda, we will get a term negative. If this is in the YouTube differential manometers, that would be correct. But here it is inverted, right? So we are subtracting the value of this, because this has to move against the gravity. Okay. So what I am telling, in the left limb the pressure will be Pa, then it will be minus rho 1 G H1 in the left limb. In the right limb, what happens? Pb minus, first this one will come, because from this liquid it is lighter, rho 2 G H2 minus rho G H rho S G H. So this will be the term. See, taking excess data now, then the pressure in the left limb will be rho A Pa minus rho 1 G H1. Why this minus? Because it is going against the gravity, and the liquid is lighter here. The liquid is lighter because it is the specific gravity and density is lighter by the pressure which we had to calculate. The pressure in the right limb will be Pb minus rho Gh2 minus rho S Ghs. Okay. Next equate it both, then you will get the differential pressure in the manometer is Pa minus Pb is equal to rho 1 Gh1 minus rho 2 Gh2 minus rho Sg into H. So rho Gh, rho Gh, rho Gh, whatever the highest liquid is there, A. So we have to take 1, rho 1 Gh1 minus rho Gh2 minus rho Sg into H. Either, and you can also simplify more, G into, we can take out the G into rho 1 H1 minus rho 2 H2 minus rho S into H. Just whichever you can remember that. So this were about the inverted YouTube differential manometers. So now see some of the pressure measuring devices. So this is the Bourdon's pressure gauge. So this we are seeing normally in the lab. So this is digital pressure gauge. So these were the pressure measuring devices, and some of the electronics are also there, but not required as of now. So this was about the theory part of the measurement of pressure, the devices and all. Okay. Next, so this was about today's session. Thank you. So the problematic part will be taken in next class, and I'll end this module 1. So thank you for the cooperation. Keep watching. Thank you.